Hey, how's everyone doing? This is Oz with Oz Mechanics, and on today's video we got this 2000 Chevy Silverado right behind me. So the issue with this Chevy, customer was complaining while he's driving, he notices that it's loss of power and then sometimes it bogs down. So how about in today's video we try to figure out this truck and give this vehicle back to the customer. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this vehicle right here. So the customer has changed out the fuel pump and the fuel filter, and as well, he did hear that maybe the catalytic converter would have been bad, so he did cut down the pipes, and basically it was just no exhaust to it. It's pretty loud. But he told me after that it was still acting up. So what I want to do right now, I'm just going to look at the fuel trims and I want to see exactly what's going on. So we're just going to basically see what fuel trims we have, try to rev it up a little bit, see where they're going to. And then from there we can get a little bit better assessment on this issue, and then we can try to figure out this problem and diagnose it right. So how about we go to this scan tool right here and let's look at some fuel trims. All right, so we want to start off with data display. Let's go to engine data right here. All right, so we have all these PIDs right here, but right now what I'm worried about, I just want to look at the actual fuel trims. So what we can do is go to short-term bank 1, short-term bank 2, long-term bank 1, long-term bank 2, and we're going to go to these right here. When we're looking at these, right now the fuel trim learn is not on, so we're just going to wait until it enables. There you go. So if we look at short-term 1 and long-term 1, we got long-term. This is basically what's learned on there, and this is what's going on right now. If y'all want me to do another video on explaining this a little bit more, I'll do that. But from the just a fast little test right here, this is what is learning, and this is what's kind of going on right now. So if we add these two together, right now we have a fuel trim of, is creeping up, about 45, 46, 47, positive 47, positive 50 is going up, man. And then on our bank 2 is about the same. So basically what it's trying to say, we're getting at least, let's say 50% more fuel added. That kind of went down a little bit, but that's just kind of showing that the percentage, you know, a perfect running vehicle, we would have 0. Something in the ballpark range, if we get plus or minus 10, that's good as well. But good running vehicle is going to be about 0 on both ends. So what could be the issue on this? He does say it bogs down a lot. So what we can do, let's add the RPM to this. Let's just see what happens whenever we give it gas. Does it get better? Is it the same? What's going on? It's getting a little bit better, but not completely good. And then that's what we want to see. We want to see those negative numbers right there, because once we get negative on the short term, it's kind of correcting itself, but this is too minimal, so that's not really nothing right there. Right now, one thing I do want to check out, kind of want to do a VE test on this. That's going to be a volumetric efficiency test, and basically it's just going to kind of verify how much air is going into the system. And one thing that I did notice when I opened up the actual hood is that it has a K&N filter on there with hosing and all that, tubing and so on. And I've seen those as well. Whenever they put that cleaner on there, the K&N cleaner, or whatever aftermarket air cooler it has, sometimes it builds up gunk on the mass airflow sensor and kind of gets wrong readings. So what I want to do right now, I actually want to go take this out on the test drive and then calculate the VE and see how it's what we have, what numbers we have. I'm going to show you what we have under the hood first, and then I'm going to show you what data PIDs we're going to need, and then we're going to input those in the VE calculator, and then we're going to verify if we have good readings from there. And on top of that, when they put the fuel pump and all that, we did test that out beforehand, and the pressures were reading good volume. That's all good. Right now, I just want to check out this and see what we get. So let me open up the hood. I'm going to show you the air intake system that they have on there, and then after that, we're going to go ahead and do our test. And to do this test, we have to get the right parameters. We're going to put the stuff that we need to check out right here. That's going to be the RPM. So 1 is going to be RPM, 2 is going to be the mass, 3 is going to be how cold it is outside, so the air intake. And then as well, I'm just going to add the load on there, because we're going to use that load that we have on here, and on the VE calculator is going to actually calculate how much load this vehicle was supposed to have. So we're going to use all that to verify what's going on. So let's go take you to the front of the vehicle so you can see what they have. All right, so this is that big 5.3 liter engine, and this is what I was talking about right here. And one thing I don't like is, look how loose that is right here. And I went ahead and tried to tighten this up before I started this, but it's still kind of loose, just kind of wiggling right there. So we're going to address that. This is what we have. Here's our mass airflow sensor. This is our tubing that goes through our throttle body right there. I'm not a big fan of these. They do cause problems, but let's go inside. Let's give this a test drive and let's see what we get on our VE test. All right, so on our VE test, like I told you, what we're gonna need: RPM, intake air temperature, mass. We're gonna put engine load while we're here. So we have it graphed right here. So we have our engine load on the upper right hand side, air intake, our MAF, which is grams per second, barrel, and engine speed. The thing I don't like, it should be about 5.3 grams per second, around that number, and we are at 3.6. Don't like that right there. This is just a rule of thumb that we use. So next that we're gonna do, we're gonna get this out to a safe part. All right, so let's go give this a little test drive. All right, here we go. Make sure I have everything on, and we're just gonna go ahead and rev it up right here and go fast. I got a good pull right there, so let's see what we got. Let's look at our scan data. Let's check this out. So we just gotta line up to the highest point. All right, there you go. Let's make sure everything is lined up to our highest point. So as you can see, so our barrel is always going to be the same. So right now we're at 30.4. Our MAF right here, we are at 171.78. RPM went up to about close to 5,000 RPM. Intake air temperature, we're at 109. And then if we look at our engine load, that's only 67. And that's our wide open throttle. Not that good, man. Normally wide open throttle, we're gonna get about close to, I would say, 90 up there. But like I said, this felt kind of good. It had a nice little pull, but it felt like some ponies were missing. So let's input this in the VE calculator and let's see what we get. All right, so we're on this website right here. This is atgtrainer.com, and this is what houses our VE calculator right here. You can actually use your phone as well if you want to. All right, so right now I'm going to be using this right here because I just want you to see exactly what's going on. So right here, this is all preset. As you can see, I already has some numbers right here, but we're going to put our numbers. So we got to start off with our engine size. It's going to be a 5.3 liter engine. If we look at our RPM, we're reading 49.78. And our mass airflow sensor, we're reading 171.78. Intake air temperature sensor is at 109. We are running at 8 cylinders. And right here for our barrel, we're going to go to inches of mercury. And then after that, we're going to put 30.4. And let's see what we have up here. Now check that out. So our estimated VE right here is 68.83. That's really low. We want to be in the range between 75 to 90. And check out our load right here. We're at 66.89. And that's basically what we're reading right here. Our scan tool is reading about 67. That is really low right here. We're kind of giving a pretty good gasp when we did our little test drive. I don't like how this looks, so right now what we're going to do, we're going to go back to the vehicle. We're going to try to figure this out. All right, so as you saw in our VE calculator, basically engine load was pretty much the same. It was at what, 66.68, and right here we're at 67. Like I told you, I just didn't like how that didn't go up as much. We don't need a drag strip. This was just kind of just revving it up and putting load on the engine, but this was way too low right here. From the mass airflow sensor and all that. From the VE calculator, I want to see anything above 75. This was a little bit low. Really don't like that intake setup that they have right there. So I'm going to try to see if I can get a secondhand intake. Depending on how the mass airflow sensor is from the one I get, we might just stick to that one or get a brand new one. But right now it's getting kind of dark outside, so we're going to wait till tomorrow. Once we can do that, we're going to retest this and we're going to verify that the mass airflow sensor was the problem. So we're going to wait till tomorrow, see how this goes. Let's do the editing of a snap. All right, so we're on day 2 right here, and as you can see, it's a beautiful day, and we have right here an intake tube and a filter housing right here. So what we're going to do first, we're going to go ahead, verify that our mass airflow sensor is not dirty, and then we're going to change out our air filter, and then once that's all good, we're going to put it on. So with the magic of editing, bam, check that out. We have it on. There you go. This looks a lot better than what was on there before. So right now what I want to do is get back in the vehicle, and we're going to hook up our actual scan tool, and we're going to do our VE test again and verify what we have. So this looks a lot better than what was on there before. Now I just want to see if this is going to be the total fix. So let's go inside the vehicle. Let's check this out. All right, we have our graphs up. Remember, we have our baro, engine load, air intake, mass airflow, and engine speed. The air intake yesterday was a little hot because we had the vehicle on for a while. Right now it's 71 degrees here in Houston. So we're going to check this out. We're going to turn on the vehicle. All right, we're on. So let's find a safe road that we can drive on, and then we're going to do our test, wide open throttle, and then we're going to come back, recheck our data, and then put it on the VE calculator and see if we got a fix. But remember, last time we were looking at the engine load, it's about 68, somewhere right there. So we can just go off by that right off the bat once we finish this test. So let's find this nice road right here so we can give it a shot. All right, let's do the test right here. So all right, let's check that out. All right, so we can see right here it topped off at 91, the engine load. All right, cool. Our MAF got to 216, RPM was about 4,900, and then our air intake was 69. We're doing this test early in the morning too. So let's go into our VE calculator. Let's see what we get on that. So let's check it out. All right, so we're back at it again. So we're on the ATG website looking at the VE calculator. All right, so let's start putting this on here. So we got 5.3 liter engine RPM right here, 4910. Our mass airflow sensor, we're reading 216.14. Our air intake temperature sensor was about 69, what we got on our actual scan tool, and we have a V8. And if we go down right here, we're going to see our baro right here. So we're going to move it to inches of mercury, and right here on the scan tool we're reading 29.8 at the moment. Now if we look at this, check this out, look at the VE right here. All right, now what I want to do, I just want to change this up a little bit more. Like I said, the previous test that we did, the vehicle was a little bit hotter and we're reading about 109 degrees. Let's just move this up and let's see if we have any difference in anything. And check that out, our VE actually jumped up even more, about 90%. That is awesome. Compared to what it was before, it was about 67. Now we're about close to 90. This is a proper fix right here. This is the amazing thing about the VE calculator. So let's go back to the vehicle and let's finish this up. I don't know about you, but that was exciting right there. So there you go. Man, I feel good about this one. And another thing that we can do, we can just look at fuel trims. Oh man, look at the fuel trims there. Long term and short term bank 1, literally close to 0. I think this is man, our fuel trims were really high. I don't know if you remember beforehand, they're about 50% accumulated, so that was really high. I'm feeling pretty good about this. We're gonna clear up the codes, we'll give it a little bit more test drive, but this is way better. 20% more on the VE, and then on top of that, the fuel trims were a lot better. But right now, the main thing is I want to show you how to use the VE test. So this is kind of cool. It's just a VE calculator. If you have a scan tool that can get all the information right there, you don't need something expensive like this, but it'll be nice to have that you can have those data PIDs so you can line them up. But there you go. Whew. I gotta enjoy this day, man. This day is beautiful. So if you do like this video, please put a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that little notification bell to get our brand new videos coming out from Miles Mechanics. Y'all take care. Y'all have a nice day. Hey, how's everyone doing? This is Oz with Oz Mechanics, and on today's video, we got this 2000 Chevy Silverado. So on today's video, what we're gonna try to do, we're gonna try to see if we can fix up this vehicle and give it back to the customer. So this issue with the Chevy Silverado coast. So how about in today's video, what we're gonna try to do, we're gonna try to see if we can fix up the vehicle. Hey, how's everyone doing? This is also with Awesome Mechanics, and on today's video, I got this 2020